That's when I get in touch with African style. The Africans and show me African smile. African talent that are well versatile. See the African very recording artists. African the wisest, African the smartest. The mentor, the voice and the juice are the artists. Zimbabwe, we are the breakfast. Listen up. I'm slanging at the nation. Back again with the remix selection. From London to Zimbabwe, all the Africans know we stop the party. And if you know it, put one out in the air. Scream and shout like you just don't care. African people, if you're strong and proud, repeat after me. And say,
African child, Zimbabwe is where I be from. They be checking my style, my swag, my flow. Can't push me cause I know I'm sweet. Got diamonds and gold in Africa, rhythm and blues in Africa, beautiful women in Africa.
From Zimbabwe, all of my trade in the street of Ferrari, but I was born in Mazingo, and that's why me talk to my lingo. Imbai, Kanaganyimbu, Mripam with your day, na PK, Kaz and JJC with one big family, because we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Zimbabwe, yeah, we are Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. Come on, Africans.
To me a youth from Africa, King Selassie rule from out of Africa. The best body guy, I'm from Africa. All the diamonds and gold from Africa. 27 years in spent in a prison just to liberate people in Africa. Nelson Mandela, from Niger to Zimbabwe, UK back to Africa.
We never culture rare as the Nile. Everybody on the African style. Our music make you go wild. I know you get it, get it. We flex, we dress to impress, we call for the best, put us to the test, and it ain't no stress, no settle for less. Cause we are Africa.
We will rise.
Hey.
G all the way. I tell you, if you're listening to the podcast for this, we're talking on your business radio station, After5Radio.
This is After5Radio. Hello, my name is Bumhira, all the way in the UK, and you're listening to your favorite Zimbabwe diaspora music with your girl, Tanya Amy, on your favorite radio station, After5Radio. www.after5radio.net. Hey, hey, hey. Listening to After5Radio with your girl. This is After5Radio.
What's going on, everyone? It's live from one of our DJs listening to the radio on After5Radio.
This is After5Radio. The best music by Zimbabweans in the diaspora. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am up now, and forgive my voice. No alcohol related, but yeah, oh my gosh, this voice kind of has a lot to do, which is talking, as you can see. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another exciting episode of Tough Love Giggles on your go-to online radio station, After5Radio, which is dedicated to celebrating Africans in the diaspora. I am your host, aka the hype lady herself, Miss Tando Amy, coming to you live all the way from Canada. And today I am joined by a man who truly wears many hats. Before we even bring on those hats and all that fun stuff, let's just bring him right on screen and hear these many hats that he wears. He is actually from a renowned MC. We all know that part of him, but there's a whole lot more that you don't know, which is why we're actually hanging out with him. True entrepreneur, visionary, and community builder. He is the proud owner of Kennixworld Contractors, making waves in the construction industry with innovation and excellence. Please help me welcome my special guest today, Mr. Ken Bumhira. Oh my gosh, it's been a long time coming, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. I've been looking forward to these, and I like your energy. Have you had your coffee yet? I haven't had mine yet, so I might be a little slow coming off the gates, but I'm excited. I don't know. This coffee is a little weak, though. I should have gotten my regular double at Timmy's.
The regular, right? Regular double. Guys, I don't know how people do coffee with sugar. Wow.
I only have coffee and sugars. Coffee's a little bitter, so I try to get my 2 sugars in my coffee. But if it's a regular tea, I don't put any sugar in it.
If it's a regular tea, you don't. Can you believe I started drinking coffee maybe 2-3 years ago and started off the bat with no sugar, and I love the taste. Love it.
That's good. That's nice.
But no, awesome. Thank you so much for coming. And this is such a humbling moment because you've inspired my journey, because you're one person who, you know, when we're still my youth and what have you, we looked up to you and Sister Maria. She's no longer, I think, in Canada. I think she's based in the States now. And, you know, it was one of those, oh my gosh, how do people speak in public, you know? And I was not used to speaking in public until, you know, of course, when you kind of realize, oh, actually, you're called to do that. So just, you know, hanging out with you right now is like, okay, let's see how this combination is going to go.
That's truly humbling to hear that you and Maria would you're looking up to me, and that's why it's very important that whatever that you do, you ensure that you do to the best of your ability, because there might be other people that might be watching. I just found out that you were looking up to me, so I'm glad you learned the good things on me.
Oh, we did a whole lot. And still learning. We haven't arrived yet. Some people think, oh, have you arrived yet? No, we haven't arrived yet. But no, that is awesome. And today we're here to learn a whole lot more about you, not just, you know, the MC side of you. And some people describe you as
well spoken, well put together. And I was like, really? So when I look at people, it's like, okay, so you see what I see, right? But then again, at least I'm not biased because it's my field and stuff like that. But there's somebody who's not even in the entertainment industry or, in these spaces. And it's like, he's actually well spoken. He knows what he's talking about and he will quote you a Bible verse. And we actually thought he was a pastor at one point because he once led a funeral. And
that is so funny. The funny thing is that I don't like the sound of my voice when I actually listen to videos or audios or musical things, because sometimes I do play the keys at church and I sing some songs. I don't like the sound of my voice, but it's kind of funny that you're saying that.
Yeah. No, but what's funny though, that's another thing too, where even when I started radio, I started it on the screen more than anything, right? And then eventually, when I did radio, just the start, I was like, well, who will I be talking to? Will I be talking about myself? And thank God now I got the space to even interview people like on air, right? On air and live still, and have our visuals still there. But at first, trying to learn how to be a DJ or a radio host, it's like my voice, I don't know, but I eventually got used to it. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize I had a radio voice, right? And you're like, what's a radio voice? How do people develop radio voice, but you just don't develop them reading?
Wow. Funny thing you say that there was one moment that I was really, really proud of you. I was on YouTube and the commercial popped up, right? An ad popped up and that was you. I think it was something to do with our better government. I'm like, I know her. I've done an event. So now I'm trying to explain to people. I'm like, I know her. I've done an event with her. I can't remember that event, what it was. We called MC'd an event. I was like, oh yeah, I know. It's like, you see now you're claiming to know people on TV. I'm like, but I know her.
Right. Now we're everywhere in the media spaces or television, but no, it's also a journey that one day we shall talk about. But today we are talking about Mr. Bumhira, right? And let's just start off like with your personal journey. You've been described as a man who wears many hats, as as mentioned earlier on. From renowned MC to entrepreneur to visionary to community builder, and also I got to experience another side of you the last 2 weeks where I was like, what? Rap thing? What? And then and I, to a certain extent, I kind of knew the musical side of you with instruments and stuff like that, but I didn't know the singing part, as in with the rap. So, okay, what can you not do? But then again, that's not a question I would ask because it's no more getting that question myself, because I am told, what can you not do, right? And the only thing I can say is I cannot sing. But then, tell us more. How did all this begin? How did your journey begin, and where we are right now?
I think there was something that was that grew up in me. There's something that was near and dear to my heart in terms of community. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a community builder, but I'd call myself somebody who has the community near and dear to his heart. Like I want to see the community do it well, whether it's Nigerian community, Indian community, whatever community it is, as long as people are happy, as long as people are thriving. That's something that is near and dear to my heart. I remember when I was 19, I believe I was working at a place called Macro. There's a place I used to go, a children's home called Chinyaradzo. It's in Highfield, and I would spend weekends there with the orphans. And from there, I believe something was born that made me want to see the communities thrive and be empathetic to what's happening to whoever is happening to. So from there, something was built in me. here in the city of Edmonton, I do participate in events that takes place. The whole idea is to create the platform because I've got daughters and a son that I
Mm,
want them to be able to showcase their talents, showcase whatever they have. If we don't
mm,
build that community, if we don't build that platform, who is going to do it? So that's
true.
something that is near and dear to my heart on the side of the community. So I want to see the community doing much better. And it's
Mm,
something that just excites me when I see people doing better, whether
mm,
I lend a hand to support, whether it's a situation where I just say, I'm going to come by and be there to support
mm,
whatever you're doing. So that's something that is near and dear to my heart. Now,
mm.
go into a little bit of my background in terms of what I do. I don't know if you already asked me that question, but I'm already babbling, and I'm
That's the
excited with
one.
what I do. I'm
Yeah.
the owner operator of Kennixworld Contractors. I founded this company back in 2011, and I remember when I started, my first client. Big shout out to Mr. Ove, is out of Edmonton. He gave me a chance to break through and do some work for him. And what I knew I had so many skills in carpentry, and all I wanted was to get a chance. But how I started it, I had a lawnmower, and I think. With cutter. That's basically what I had. And I would say, you know what, let me cut your grass, let me cut your lawn, let me do this. But while I'm doing that, I'm creating the conversation and identifying where the needs were. And I ended up doing his deck. That was the first client that allowed me to do that.
Mm,
So going back, that's roughly about 11 years. Fast forward now, I have a crew. We are operating in the city of Edmonton, Red Deer, and sometimes in Calgary. We do a lot of home developments. We do basements, fancies, decks, anything wooden. We are still trying to work on how we can build human beings. I'm just kidding, but we do a lot of carpentry work, whether it's framing carpentry, finished
mhm.
carpentry, any
Yeah.
type of carpentry that you may be specialized carpentry. Besides that, we also have other services we provide our customers. We have this holistic approach where what can we do for you? But at the end
Mm,
of the day, what is important to me and my crew that I work with is big shout out to Terry Davies. This guy has been instrumental to our company. I call him
nice.
Terry, I call him
Mm,
Jeff,
yeah.
but his other name is Davies, and I just call him
Okay.
whatever I feel like calling him. He's fine with that.
On
Big
the
shout
day.
out to Norman as well. Uh,
Yeah.
Norman, these are wonderful people that I'm working with
Yeah.
Kenix World.
Mm,
Great and wonderful people, and a few other ones that come and help us once in a while. But other
mm,
than that, we have been really going into the niche market where you have the biggest of biggest companies, the smallest of the smallest companies. They're not able to
mm.
do certain type of work in between. So that's where we go in and be able to do some work. There's a lot of subdivisions that are here in the city of Edmonton. So if you're
Mm.
listening and you have some work that needs to be done, fences, decks, basement developments, or anything like that, we just a phone call away. Thank you.
Exactly. No, that is awesome. And you said something that is really humbling, which some people always see like the
Mhm,
final result, the end result, the, oh,
mhm,
wow, he's actually grown, he's got a team, he's got this.
mhm,
But to even think 2011, really? I wouldn't
mhm.
have thought because I think we started seeing the visibility now, right?
Yeah.
And everything. And it's like, oh, I thought he was in the corporate world. I thought he was, and then you see all this that's happening. And then you even mentioned something which what I was thinking is the humbling part, where you said, I just started, lawn mowing and saying, can I do this for you? Can I? To me, it's like lower yourself and humble yourself in order for the Lord to exalt you more than
Mhm,
anything. And not a lot of people can do that. Everybody wants to be right there at the finish line without, going back and say, how do I lower and humble myself and learn and,
mhm,
put myself out there and learn from the best and not just get in as if I already know stuff.
mhm.
That's huge, to be
Yeah.
honest. And I think that's a lot of one thing that today's generation, hopefully will sort of learn. But I guess too, we can't expect the new generation to do the olden ways and still come out the way we do. But no, bravo to you. And it's so humbling. It's one thing where I'm like, when you see people doing some things, even when it comes to like with my work, some people would have seen, oh yeah, you've been on TV and what have you. There's sometimes when I had to do pro bono screen work. But now when you're kind of getting paid for it, it's like, oh, I started from somewhere. Right? I started from nowhere. But I just hope it's, I know a lot of people have, oh yeah, I'm chasing money. If you're not doing this, I'm not going to do that. If I'm not, it's a lot, right? Where you have to first build yourself, build your name, build everything about you in order for people to trust you and then eventually pay you for your work. And now you own a huge company and everybody knows to go to Kennixworld and they trust your work and you've posted so many nice pictures. And I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have thought. So do you actually have a what do you call it, a corporate background to speak? And how did you get to the hands-on, to the physical part of things? Because we know back home, corporate world means you're the man, and then here corporate white collar is like, oh really? And then blue collar back home is like, wow, you're the love of the town or what have you, depending on background. But you come here, blue collar is the world. So tell us about that.
So going back, I would touch on the corporate in a moment. I wanted to acknowledge something that's happened along the way that I may have missed. Okay, I want to quickly acknowledge there's a statement that my wife Fidel stated at one time. I don't know if she remembers. By the way, I'm happily married to Fidel. I've got 4 children,
hey,
three daughters, and 1 son. She said the difference between a professional and an amateur is simple. Professionals get paid, amateurs do things for free. And
we spoke about this before.
That statement kind of carried me over the years. And at the end of the day, you're providing a service. Your time is important, and you deserve to get paid as well.
And
put
your
food on
worth.
the table, right? Yeah, perfect. And now going to the corporate world, yes, I did. I was in the banking industry for 16 years. I worked at CIBC, Bank of Montreal, Scotia Bank, and Bank of Montreal. I did corporate banking, personal banking, small business banking, and commercial banking. Client relationship manager, commercial relationship manager, small business banking manager, personal banker. So I have a background in banking. So that's what I used to do in the past. But there's something that happened. One time I was on holidays. The reason why I had to change and move away from these, simple. I was on holidays, I don't know if I'm allowed to share about Scotiabank, but let's just say it's not Scotiabank.
You're right.
They issued a laptop and a cell phone, which means I was reachable whether I'm on holidays or I'm not on holidays. One time I received a call from my boss, and he says, because I was a client relationship manager, which means I managed a portfolio of clients, right? And I received a call. Hey, Ken, one of your clients needs an extension on the line of credit. They have a payroll coming in a few days. So I know you're on holidays, but you get your laptop, write a deal and send it to credit. Took me 2.5 days to do that and send a deal to credit. And I say to myself, this is not what I want to do. And at that time, I made a decision to say that I think it's time for me to transition into something that I can actually make my decisions and be able to run these. And you know what, truly in all these, there's one verse from the Bible which comes out of Philippians 4:18 that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that has been my strength. Even on the days when I don't feel like waking up, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that has been something that pushes me. So over the years, you begin to see the visibility, but there's a lot of work that took place behind the scenes to get to where I am, and sky is the limit. And some of the reasons why I do these, I want the youth to see that it's possible. You can do it. And I'm truly amazed by the number of you that give me a call. Like, oh, I didn't know, but I'm
Yeah.
inspired. And it's something that really pushes me to do much better, because
Mm,
when you have people looking up to you, you have no choice but to put your best foot forward and do the
yeah.
best you can to
Yeah.
be that example. I'm
Yeah.
not going to call myself a role model, but I
Mm,
believe the youth could watch and learn maybe one or two things, right? If they watch one or two things, then it's good for them. It's good for me
mm,
as well. And somebody once said, "What can be measured can be improved." If they can measure
mm.
what I'm doing, I guess I can improve each day and be a better version of myself. Thank you.
Right. And guess what?
Mm,
When I was a youth, I was inspired by you. It is what it is. Here's another, grown woman now, started from youth, and we looked up to you, and here we are, right? Um, on the entertainment side of things. And of course, right now, everybody wants to know, how can I make money? And then you have this whole background up
mm,
until where what gives you money is totally a different ball game, but you also have the background on how to make the money and stuff like
mhm,
that. So it's like, wow, it's not a lot of people who are able to transition into that, because
mhm,
I've seen some people who came with that mentality of, yeah, white collar, it means that I'm smart and what have you. People who do
mhm,
trades, oh, they're the dumbest people, da, 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 da. But then some of us, we quickly learned that
mhm,
no, blue collar is where the mullah is, right? And then you try and tell them that, yo,
yeah,
why don't you start from the bottom? And you can still get back to the top of your financial background or
yeah,
managerial background or whatever background that you want to do and
yeah,
have your own stuff. But it's, some people having a short vision or not having, I don't know. I think, and then again, women, we're gifted with seeing the bigger picture. But so when you see, people saying, oh yeah, but people with trades are, I will use the actual word stupid.
mm,
People with trades are stupid. I am smart and this. I'm like, bro, bro,
mhm,
bro, bro, bro. But it's okay. But
mhm,
eventually they got on to doing that. And I'm talking about somebody who's now a gentleman, somebody who now has their own business and what have you. But at
mhm,
first, the resistance is because of
yep,
where we come from, what we know, where, oh, yeah, I want to show people back home that I am a white collar person and I'm
mm,
making it here. Instead of, no, what will show is the fruit and not,
yeah,
what it is that you want to publicize to the world and what have you. And
yeah,
here's a good example, right? And I'm just
yeah,
hoping a lot of people get to learn, like you said, get to learn from your journey to say
mm,
it wasn't a bad thing that you started off as a corporate world, but that's what
mm,
we knew coming from back home. And then you come here and then you learn a different ball game. So
mhm,
did you not feel some type of, because construction is heavy,
yeah,
from sitting behind the desk to eventually heavy lifting, putting stuff together, that comes with measurements, that comes with,
yeah,
it brings trust that
mm,
your deck is not going to fall.
yeah. There's a lot that you put into it, and
Exactly.
that transition for me was very easy because carpentry
Mhm.
was already something that I loved, near and dear to my heart,
Mm,
because a lot of people that make a mistake of doing things they don't like, right?
true.
So in the beginning it was heavy because I was doing most of the work on my own, but now with a crew it makes it much easier. Now I have reliable people. Like I can be off the job site and Terry is the one in charge and is running in charge. And let me also give a big shout out to my he calls me his best friend. I'm not sure if I'm there yet, but I think he's my best friend. His name is Serge. My brother-in-law is my friend as well. He carried us a couple of years ago. He was pretty much my foreman. Really gifted in carpentry. We work together. He's a little busy now, but once in a while he pops in to check how things are going. So having additional people. You see, management is the ability to train people who can replicate what you do. Because a lot of people make a mistake that I want to do it all. But you got to
Mm,
train other people in order for you to get to a point where you can be off the job site, looking for more
mm,
business, doing business
mm.
developments, going into meetings, quotations, and speaking to other clients while the work is still going on. So I am truly blessed to have reliable people I keep giving a shout out to Terry. Terry, if you're listening, please don't leave Kennixworld. We need you. We love you. We appreciate you. The work that you're putting
Yes.
in, you are needed. So being able to groom and train people
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can learn and do what you do, it's something that is very, very important. But wait,
Right.
let me go back a little bit. In the beginning,
Mm.
I should have said, God has been good.
Mm.
The
Mm. Mm.
reason why I
Mm.
say that sometimes we may have the ability to do things, but we don't have the clients to do the things for.
Mm.
But God has been good. My faith sustains me every day. It keeps me going,
Mm.
and
Mm.
you gotta bear with me because sometimes I quote on scripture: "Ask, it shall be given; knock, it shall be open; seek, you shall find." So that's what's been happening. If I tell you that 95% of my business is
Mm.
referrals, referrals essentially is a client
Wow.
say, "Hey, we are happy with what you did. I have a
Yeah.
friend that needs some work done." So again, I'm saying God has been good because
Yeah.
those opportunities keep coming. I'm working hard.
Yep.
I'm putting in the work, but the
Yep.
work is keep coming.
Yep.
Sometimes you can go dry, right? You may have the skills, but not be able to do anything for anybody.
Yep.
So that's why I say God has been good. So my
Right.
faith has sustained me in the process as well. Yeah.
Right. And also, before we continue with our interview, I'm so sometimes it's difficult for us to be multitasking and what have you, like when we're doing lives, especially going to see comments on Instagram. And then we've seen, shout out to Musa Effect, one of my musical brothers, which, oh my gosh, when we get into music, definitely this is one person you might want to link up with. He's such a talented young man. And just put fire emojis. Did I just say fire emojis? Yes, you put fire emojis. I just thought of a song, fire emoji. But yeah, shout out to you, my brother, and everybody else that's actually tuned in. And one of our own DJ Sugar is saying, great to see this. It is so inspirational because he's DJ Sugar, other than just being also one of the DJs here on After5Radio, he also has his own business, where he coaches kids swimming, hockey as well,
Wow.
I believe, field
Yeah.
hockey. And when I mean kids, I mean like young kids, maybe 5, 6, 7 years, right? And you're like, wow, this is so inspirational, right? So I can totally understand where he's coming from while he's listening to this interview, where he's saying it's great to hear this. And thank you so much, Ken, for your inspiring words and and all the shout outs. It's not a lot of people who give credit where it's due, where you're like, you know what, had it not been for this person, I wouldn't be where I am today. But you're able to say that and say it's not all me. And then, but most importantly, knowing where your faith is rooted, because without him, nothing is possible. You understand? This is,
Yeah.
I am also at that point where I always get into a room and I'm like, God, if this is not for me, Holy Spirit, nah, it will just come out on its own. But at the same time, please lead me, show me, and what have you. When I get into a room, before you know it, gaga, how did this happen? Oh, because I asked for guidance, right? And there's no way you can just walk into a room and expect to do it on your own, like in this whole flesh. But this is why we were given the guidance of the Holy Spirit every time and everywhere we go. So I love the fact that even your organization is rooted in the word. And also I've been so blessed as well with some of the projects that I do and the people that I get to work with also have that background where we're like, before we even start rehearsal, let's pray. Before we even do anything, let's pray. And it's like, God, thank you. I don't even regret the move to Calgary because that wasn't the plan, just so you know. But everything that's happening right now is like, I get you. I get it. I'm not going to fight it because I know this is not the end of it. So I love the fact that when people come out and say, this is my faith, this is who I am, and I am grateful for that, it's like giving back to the creator, to the foundation, to everything. Otherwise, without that, we won't go anywhere.
You're inspirational, me. That you're taking me to church. I love to hear that.
There's a whole lot. Everybody's like, Amanda, we can't wait to see your book. Hold on. But I don't know when that will come out because there's a lot. There's a lot. Some people want to call me pastor. I don't know about that. But we are on a journey of something,
Yes,
like
we
I
are.
said, a lot of things that are going to come out later. But as we go, we look a little bit back on the personal journey and come back to Kennixworld. It will actually link up as we go. So growing up, who and what shaped your mindset for business and leadership?
You
Because
know,
that's one thing not a lot of people just think, oh yeah, I was born like this. But who shaped that? Who inspired
yeah.
you? How was your support system? How was, yeah.
So this, growing up, and there was no talk of business. I
Mm,
think the way the education system in Zimbabwe is set up is for
mm,
you to get a good job. As soon as I
absolutely.
was done school, I went to work for Macro
Mm,
Harare, and I was doing I was an accounts receivable clerk,
yeah.
and that was like, "Ooh, I got a really good job. I work in the
Yeah.
office, right?" So there was never thought of really running a business. The
Mm,
business mind started, I believe, around 2006,
mm,
because sometimes in order for you to start something, you have to begin to write that on such a time.
yeah.
Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? Where do I
Yeah.
want to be in the next 10 years? Come 5 years, chances are you haven't even started because
Okay.
you're doing other things. And I
Yeah.
got sidetracked with working in the corporate world here, and it
Mm,
delayed my journey in Kennixworld Contractors. And
mm,
so going back to who inspired me in terms of shaping me in other things like being a master of ceremony, or just be able to do public speaking, be inspiring the youth and the young. There was a gentleman
mm,
called, my uncle called Mr. Danmo Magorimbo. So essentially, his mannerism, I learned a whole bunch of things in order to have that stage presence, in order to have that well, for lack of a better word, confidence to be able to stand and speak. And I've spoken in front of 500 people. I've spoken in front of
nice.
700 people. And he taught me one thing, that when you are in front on the stage, essentially in each section, pick one or two people. You are only speaking to those few people, but you're speaking to the entire auditorium, but focus on just there. You're focusing on one person, one person, one person, one person. And I
Mm,
learned that it takes away any nervousness. So in terms of that, that's the gentleman that really helped me have the people skills, the confidence to have conversations, confidence to you can throw me anywhere, Amanda, and I'll be able to have a conversation with anyone from anywhere, any place. That's confidence that I was taught by that gentleman. In terms of the business side of things, it's something that I had to self teach myself, to say that at some
mm.
point in time I have to to there's nothing as great as cutting somebody else's paycheck. Terry, I hope you're not listening. You know, and so it's just satisfying in so many ways. Hopefully Norman too is not listening.
Yeah. Just
And
this
so
part.
I had to teach myself. But what happens
Mm,
is I identified where I had a passion. I had a passion in carpentry, and I said, how can I move these? How can I scale this up?
mm,
How do I do that? I started small, but small was for me to have a conversation, to look
mm,
where I came from, where I was, and where I am today. I say this with a humble heart. Thank you to all my wonderful clients who have given me a chance
mm,
to be able to do this. And
mm,
some of the clients may be listening. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your business. The best gift you can ever give me is to send me another referral. I would really
mm,
appreciate it. So I self-taught myself to go into business. I identified what I was passionate about, what was near and dear to my heart, and that's what I scaled up. And I'm hoping in the next 10 years, the entire city of Edmonton, Kennixworld, would be very, very visible. And
mm,
and again, with God, we can do all things. We just have
mm,
to put in the work.
mm.
Lazy people don't eat, so I gotta put
And
in the
it is
work.
written. And
it is
could you
written.
please finish off with it is written? Lazy people are not gonna eat.
I know, I totally agree with you. So that's essentially where we are going. And to be able to get there, uh, here's what I say: never underestimate anybody you're coming to contact with. They could be your referral source, they could be your stepping stone to the next stage, they could be your client, and
And they
they
could be
could
your
be
investor.
investor or encourager. So essentially,
Yes.
we trying to work on those relationships, whether it's through network events, whether it's through business meetings, or even like the last event 2 weeks ago where we were showcasing our businesses. We are trying to work on that relationship piece. The whole idea is to be bigger in the city of Edmonton, bigger in Calgary and Red Deer, and increase our clientele base. Something that I've learned over the years, I always say this, it might be cliche, but be a man of your word. When I say be a man of your word, if you say that you're going to show up at 8, show up at 7:45. If you show up at 8 o'clock, you're already late. But if you're going to be late, please let the client know in advance, because it's the little things that can either build or destroy that relationship you're about to build. So be reliable, reliable, reliable. If you didn't hear anything on this interview, that's the line that I want to catch. Be a man or woman of your word. Do not
And
be wishy-washy. Yeah.
and if anything, now that you've brought up that, you know how sometimes that will actually show whoever you're working with, be it the client or whatever, how reliable you are.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, if you're late and you feel entitled to being late, because some people are like, oh yeah, anyway, it's just that I was busy. You're allowed. This is why everybody now has this gadget. I am so sorry. I'm stuck on traffic and what have you. And this is why. But I find a lot of people, I love that because integrity is everything. This is something that will make or break your brand. And people underestimate those tiny things where it's like, oh yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever, But I am so glad that you brought that up, considering that our community is not even just the Zim community, but mostly Black people. They're, oh yeah, anyway, people know that we're Black. Change the narrative. Be the different one. Get there before what have you. When you're told this time, and if you know you cannot make it at that time, be honest enough to say, oh guys, like where I am right now, I am so sorry. Because last week, same scenario that I had just finished doing, radio and what have you, and this business that I needed to do, I had to call people, and this person was like, oh yeah, so can we make it for 12? I was like, nah, looking at my time, where you are, this logistically is not going to make sense. So can you add an hour extra? Before you know it, 15 minutes, you're there, you're sitting, and they're actually thinking, you're Black and you made it on time? Actually, I made it way before on time. Because you need to know the importance of your brand. You need to know the importance of valuing people's time. And in this world, this is something that will make or break your brand, because how can I trust Ken to even bring out my deck at a certain time? Let's just say we signed a contract for a week. And then how am I supposed to expect you to do it in a week if you can't even be there in a certain hour? Chances are you might even get it done by a month. And a month is a long time, right? So it will ruin your brand and what have you. Be a man of your word. And we love that. And like you said, if there's nothing you can take from this interview, here's a simple one.
Simple one, that's for sure. Yeah.
That is for sure. And so what challenges have you faced throughout your journey running your business, and how did you overcome them? Because everybody can see, when people see success, oh, we love the success, but success does not come smoothly all the time. There's always challenges that come along with it. So how have you managed to, face the challenges that you face? How did you manage to go through them and overcome them?
So,
because some people might get shocked and say, but this is difficult. How can I? But then everybody has gone through challenges.
The one thing that I want to say, challenges will always be there. The one thing that I always ask myself, if a challenge is there, can I solve it? If I can solve it, I don't worry about it.
Exactly.
If I can't solve it, I don't worry about it. So some of the challenges, because with Kennixworld, it's been self-funding from day one. We don't have
Oh,
any loans
nice.
from the bank. We don't have any equipment that we have
Wow.
that's in our workshop. It's equipment that was bought by Kennixworld.
Yeah.
We have a lot of tools.
Yeah.
And so that's, I guess that's one of the challenges, because when you're starting a business, to get that funding, the financing from the bank can be a challenge, because essentially they're saying, oh, your business hasn't been operating for a certain amount. Yes, we want audited financial statements. I don't need audited financial statements at this point, right?
Excuse me. Yeah.
So yeah, so things like that, getting funding from the banks. Which is a route I chose not to follow, because I didn't want to overburden Kennixworld with anything that's owing. Essentially, we said we're going to grow at a pace that is sustainable, because a lot of mistakes a lot of people make, they want to grow overnight. That
Yeah.
small incremental change that takes place over a week, over a month, that's what you need, and grow at a sustainable pace. So that's what we've been doing. And I don't want to call this a challenge. You always have the client that wants to negotiate you so that you can't even break even. But that's a story for another day. We can always book that. I don't want to talk a lot about that.
You know
But
what? Actually, now I have my many guests who have brought that up. That actually needs to be a topic of discussion on a podcast. And we need to start changing the narrative. We need to start changing the way we think. We need to start changing how we grow. But like you said, that's a story for another day. You keep going, sir.
How do I overcome that? I always look at it this way. Sometimes you gotta do it in order for you to get that referral, because it's always a win, right? Sometimes you don't make the profit you want on a certain project, but if I tell you there's a project that I did going back about 6 months ago, I made a loss of about $4,000 to $5,000 on the project. But what happened out of the project? There were referrals that are received from the project. So essentially, you know what? It's give and take, right? Give and take, give and take. And so it kind of balanced out. You gotta think it this way, because one mistake that a lot of people make, they think about the sale today. What about the long-term relationship? I have some of my my repeat clients. I wish I had the right to state one of the repeat clients. That client has been there with Kennixworld. We do a lot of their work. They already know themselves if they are listening. But I'm just saying, it's not always about the sale today. It's about creating that relationship, that revenue stream, that referral, because essentially you do the work today, a client is happy, they're bound to refer to you. The best gift they can ever give you is a referral, because what it does, it keeps the pipeline going, right? You don't want a situation where you do work today and that's it, but you want some referrals. So you have to be able to balance the relationship and the pricing, right? Sometimes you got to take the loss in order for you to gain for tomorrow. That's what I would say if you are somebody who has the challenge where clients sometimes they over negotiate.
Right. That that over negotiate. And sometimes, you know what I say? Go to Louis or go to Zara or go to Fendi, and you know when they give you that discount, please come back. That's when we can start talking. But if you cannot, but I know that sometimes people might think, oh my gosh, oh, she thinks she's cocky and da 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 da. You said when you know your worth, know what it is. And there's also, like, even up until at this point, you're so right. Even when you kind of know your worth and what have you, there's some projects where you can look at and say, you look at the long term, where you're like, oh, this will actually benefit my brand in such a way where, you know what, it's okay for me to meet halfway with them. It's okay for me to sort of, pro bono or what have you. But at the same time, now knowing where to place yourself because you already know what you bring to the table, right? And then some people, it's only a matter of experiencing that regardless of a referral. So yeah, knowing where to say yes and when to say no, but still maintaining your relationships and what have you is really
There's
important.
been moments where I've said, I'm not the cheapest on the block, right? So I would say, if you find another quotation that is lower than what I've given you, sometimes I match it. I would say no, good for you, because it doesn't work with us with where we are, right? Knowing what you're worth and the quality of work that you do, very important as well. And in the process of giving shout outs, you may have seen me putting on some Kennixworld t-shirts. I want to give a big shout out to the wonderful lady out of South Africa that does my t-shirts. She's my cousin, but she runs a very formidable printing business. She does our Kennixworld t-shirts, and her name is Yvonne Mandira out of Johannesburg. And for our banners, Mr. Josiah Towndy, based out of Calgary. He does business cards, any documentation, pamphlets, and banners. Always been a wonderful.
Oh, he's amazing. He's a good artist.
And the thing is, like, you need to have people that know how to do certain things. You can't do it all, right? And having that good contact list and the people that can help you along the way. A business cannot just grow on its own. There's gotta be others that are supporting it, whether by providing services or by in this case, we've been working on our branding. Our branding has been really inspired by those wonderful people, Yvonne Mandira and Josiah Town out of Calgary.
Right. And I hope our producers listening to this, we need more t-shirts, different colors, caps and what have you, branding and what have you. Essay, there you go. We got stuff. So definitely, yes, we're going to need more details, Mr. Bumhira. But as we're running out of time, we're just going to do like this let's see, we're going to get into community and leadership, just so people can get to know and learn what you're all about in that space. So beyond business, you're also deeply involved in community building and, you know, just wanting to see communities thrive and inspire the youth and what have you. Why is that so important to you? You've briefly touched on that, but let's get deeper into that.
The reason why it's important to me, I think I was on a Zakusa call 4 weeks or 5 weeks ago, and I said something that is still in my heart. I said, it's not about what Zakusa can do for me. What can I do for Zakusa in order to make my community great and to create that stage where my children could showcase their skills? It is my responsibility as a father. It is my responsibility as an uncle. It's my responsibility as a community leader to make that environment conducive for children to want to learn, to do better. Because if we don't create that stage for them to showcase, who's going to do it? It is our responsibility. You and I can be the change we want to see. If there are things that we don't believe that they're good, you and I can work together to make it better. And the whole idea why it's very important to me is because we can lose our children. And there's so many things happening in the city. It could be drug related, prostitution, addiction, and all that. If we don't create the stage for our kids to do something, guess what? The world will take them. Right. So that's why it is important. If there's any Zakusa members or people in the community that are listening, we have to put our heads together to create that platform, to create that stage for our children to be able to, because we have to protect our children. Right. If they come together, they learn one or two things, it might resonate with them, and we might not win all of them, but we might win some of them. Right.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
we don't want to lose all of them. So that's why it is important that we build our community. I love what's happening with Zakusa, the events, the communication, even at funerals. It doesn't have to be how we've been helping one another within the community. It's very, very important. We can either build ourselves or we can destroy ourselves, but the choice is ours. I choose to be a builder. I hope there are other builders that are there that are saying we want our community to be great, our community to be visible, our community to do much better. We want to see doctors, we want to see business owners, we want to see, but how do the business owners come if there's nobody showcasing that they're running a business? So others may be watching. I like that part in the Bible that says we are letters that are written and people read us, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you doing that people that are reading? Are they reading good? Are they reading bad? If they're reading good, what can you do? What can you improve? What can be measured, can be improved? So we can all improve. And as we rise together. It's a
Right.
decision we have to make. Thank
It
you.
is a decision that we have to make, and also doing it for the youth. So that actually reminds me, yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? At work, one of my coworkers went back to their home country. She's Lebanese, and she was there for at least a whole month, right? And it was like, how was it and what have you? When was the last time you've been there? She's like, I think the last, maybe she 10, 15 years since she last went back and what have you. And she's like, Amanda, this is what I needed. I was like, okay. And she's like, I totally forgot that we're losing and missing our culture slowly but surely. And I was like, how is that so? And she's like, it just reminded me of back home. You don't announce yourself that I'm coming and, or call to say, are you at home? You just force yourself there. Like it actually happens in your country as well.
Wow.
I just had an aha moment, and it's like, yeah, they don't announce themselves, and you don't need to be rich and boxed up for you to show up for somebody when they need, or when I got there, they were just saying, what can we do for you? What can we do for you? And when you look at their background, it's not people who are financially well up, but it's just that community. That was her main point. And she's like, I was like, my kids, what are they going to learn by being born here, being raised here? And I felt like this is what we needed as a whole family, doing it right now. And I was like, oh my God. And then at the same time, I was so glad to say the one thing I love about Canada is the fact that it is a diverse country. It celebrates diversity, and we have heritage days, and we have where we celebrate our heritage everywhere for, everybody's heritage. And I'm like, now I don't take that for granted more than anything, and how we need to grow as different communities and show the youth how it's actually done specifically for us Zimbabweans, how we Zimbabweans are Zimbabwean, or why we are actually the way we are, right? So, and although some things may not work today the way we were raised and what have you, but just to show them a brief background on what raised us, why we are who we are, and how, because like you said, if we don't, the world will take them. The Western culture will take them, and then what? Who would they be? Who would they identify as? Look at when Black Panther came about. Everybody wanted to now know where they come from. Everybody, be it Black Americans, be what have you. And then you find the younger generation saying, oh my gosh, I'm from Zimbabwe. I've had my cousins say, oh, Amanda, if you speak to us in English, we're not going to respond to you. I'm like, what? Oh, trust me, born and raised here. Now they're telling me, Amanda, if you speak to us in English, we're not going to respond. And I'm like, but are you going to respond to me in Shona? Are you going to respond to me in Ndebele? But no, I want to learn our language, is what they say. I want to learn where we come from. I was like, I am so proud of you. Right. And then this is people who were born and raised in Zimbabwe, and then they come here and then they choose to want to lose their culture. They want to choose to lose their language and everything. And then you feel the heartbreak. And don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of it too, where you're like, oh no, I cannot do this and what have you. And then now you see 14 years later, the importance of culture, the importance of community, the importance of, knowing where you come from, just your identity. More than anything, who are you other than just being called, oh yeah, I am actually Canadian. Yeah, neutralized Canadian.
Am I allowed to say amen?
Amen. Anytime. Yes. Okay. I am not preaching right now. Can you stop? Let's change topic because when we go to amen, now you're saying I'm preaching. But anyway, this is the one thing where I find, I am so glad that you're one of those people who put yourself out there for that reason who you're like, it's not just about me. It's not just about, I don't know, but I want our youth to know the identity more than anything.
Yes.
And
Yes.
bravo to you. And I just hope our adults are learning from that as well, because we find some people like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. This is who they are, who they are. But try something. See
Yes.
if they're receptive to it. If they're not,
Yeah.
that's a different ball game. But
It's a
have you
different ballgame.
tried, right? But
Yeah.
it is what it is. So as a renowned MC, yes, the speaking side of you. We said we're going to the leadership and stuff like that. You've held the mic at, countless events, be it funerals, be it weddings, be it
42 weddings and counting.
and still 42, did you say?
42 weddings and counting.
So I found a lot of people try to shy away from wedding emceeing.
Mm.
How did you get to 42? I have a friend who's a TV presenter back home, and he's like, Amanda, I hate doing weddings, but this is why I charge an arm and a leg. And when they eventually pay, I'm like, okay, I need to bring my A game on. And I'm that person too. It's like, oh, I hate, because you find there's moments where some families like, oh yeah, you're not on the program, but now you want to put yourself on the program, and it's messing your, programming. I'm that person who kind of likes everything organized, right? Messing with your programming and stuff like that. So how did you get to 42? And once you've been put on stage, to me, it's like, if you pay, actually now I need to put my A game on, right? Because I know weddings can be expensive, and the MC is the least looked at as, also needing that big paycheck.
But it's funny that MC can build a wedding or break it, because essentially he's got the mic. Mike has got the power. If you have the power, you have the power to say whatever you say. Who's going to hold you back? Unless if the wedding coordinator come and say, buddy, hold off a little bit, right? But I love weddings. That's why I do things that I love, right? I love weddings, and on the 42, 36 are still together. I don't know what happened to the other 6. I never asked any questions, right? So so how do I become an MC for weddings? What was my first wedding? Let me try and think. And no, it wasn't. But I've done so many, I can't remember which one was my first one. Because I do corporate events as well. I do weddings. I do sometimes I get called to funerals.
I find corporate are nice.
Corporate are nice and funerals, but normally it's just for whatever reason in the community. I have people calling and say, oh yeah, we were referred, and say, oh, you've done so many weddings and people thank you. I'm like, what do they look at? I just enjoy doing what I do, and in the process, whether the quality comes out or not, it's not for me to judge. But if they're referring me, it means they were happy with what I did. So what I always say is do the best you can, put your heart into it, and the result will come out on its own. I can't even remember which one was my first wedding that I emceed. It's been so many years.
Oh wow. Wow, but 42, geez. And you said, oh man, that sucks. Too bad for the other, that didn't work out. Life happens. But
Life happens.
but good job for you, like 42 and counting. Jeez, like that's a lot of work, dude. Like for me, it's like, preparing for a wedding, you have to know the guy side, you have to know the lady side, you have to, get the program in advance and what have you, and figure stuff out, and go to the hall, see what it looks like, know the what you call it, housekeeping and everything. Like it's a whole gun show. And people take that for granted. It's a lot of work. And like you said, I love it when eventually I get on it. It's like, oh, okay, I love this, right? And bring your A game on, and enjoy every moment and what have you. And shout out to TC. TC is always watching, supporting. Thank you so much, TC. And chances are he's already shared this episode. Thank you so much, Vinny, for coming through. But as we're about to conclude, sir, what lessons from the stage as an MC have influenced your approach in business or life? because of course we know the confidence, we know how you articulate yourself, well articulate. And so how does emceeing eventually come together and bring the best in your business and your personal life?
Oh, now, everything is based on relationship. If you actually think about it, emceeing creates the people skills, ability to have a conversation with anyone, anywhere, anytime, right? So you will find that those skills from the stage are actually transferable to conversations when I'm having a conversation with a client sitting across the table and we're talking about a quotation. The whole idea is to be able to communicate. As a master ceremony at a corporate event, you're communicating information. What's important is be careful what you're saying. What you're saying can destroy you, can build you. So be very, very careful. Be able to select your words in such a way that you don't offend, you don't work against your branding, and just be a good person. Learn to be a good person. Look in the mirror and speak positive. Out of the abundance of the heart, so shall the mouth speak. So make sure the words that are in you are good words, right? And then you leave the rest. God will take care of that. Put in the work.
Put in the work, the doors will be opened, and we love that. And just towards the end, what's your vision for the future of Kennixworld Contractors and your other pursuits? What other pursuits are there? Because at the moment, your biggest project or pursuit right now is Kennixworld Contractors. So what's the vision?
The vision is to have Kennixworld in different cities. I'm looking at, I was in South Africa for a month, and I saw potential for a great market for what we do. So the future vision is to expand Kennixworld into maybe Zimbabwe, but South Africa has been on my mind because I saw the real estate market is really good.
You told me, and you're the land.
And trying to branch into BC. Last year, I took some time to go into British Columbia to just kind of see the market. The market is really good. I believe that revenue-wise, we would make more revenue out of Vancouver, out of Surrey, BC, and surrounding area. But always remember where the core is. The core is in Alberta. So the core is in Alberta, because a lot of people make a mistake. They close shop and go into another. Don't ever do that. Because because this is the core, and whatever that happens there is just branching out and doing more. But I'm looking that in the next 5 to 10 years, when we have this conversation again, we'll be like, hey, I am flying to South Africa. I have a meeting with my business development manager or the foreman, the director over there, right? So that's the thing. Here's what I ask myself. Somebody who's listening right now might say, man, that's not possible. But the question that I want to ask somebody right now, those that did it, how do they do it? Do they have more than 5 senses? Do they are they special humans? We can do it. I believe it can be done. It can be done. And if you are there, you have your business plan, you've been writing out, you've been procrastinating over the years. Hey, just do it.
Do it.
Don't procrastinate anymore. Just do it.
Exactly. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. But
start small and you'll be bigger. Yeah.
And that's it. So what advice would you give young entrepreneurs and professionals who also want to wear many hats? Because you said sometimes you can do so many things, but be a master of one and the rest will open a door for the next, right? Without losing focus. So those who are young entrepreneurs or professionals who also want to wear many hats without losing focus.
Be the best at what you do. I will repeat the statement that I said earlier. Be a man or woman of your word. Be reliable. Show up on time. And if something is going wrong, don't beat around the bush. Be honest with your clients. If there's a problem, let them know there's a problem. Let's find a solution. Don't just bring problems, find a solution. And if you are somebody who is thinking about starting a business, identify what is near and dear to your heart, because you never want to do something you don't like. You want to do something that will wake you up every morning and be excited about it. A lot of people hate their jobs. A lot of people hate their business, but don't be that person. Identify what you like and monetize it. Again, statement from my wife. I don't know who originally said it. The difference between amateurs and professionals: professionals get paid, amateurs do it for free. I'll leave it at that.
I was waiting for that last statement. I was just waiting for that last statement. But Pastor Bridget, thank you so much for coming through. I miss you too. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm going to see you this year. By the way, school is opening next month, 2 weeks from now. But yes, Pastor Bridget, thank you so much for coming through. I miss you too. I would definitely reach out to you afterwards. But I love your last words, Mr. Bumhira. And, I just hope people will take on the nuggets that you gave today, and people will hopefully grow from that. So and learn from that, because I know people have this, I can just speaking, I'm not as confident as what have you, right? Because like you said, were you a shy person growing up? Because you said you had to learn confidence.
Yes, I was.
Which I find to be interesting.
The thing was, like, the first time I stood in front of the church, I think it was Sunday school, and we had to recite a Bible verse, and I just couldn't remember the words, and everybody was laughing, and it kind of damaged me a little bit. Right? But I kind of built it a little bit going later, and as I was telling you, that gentleman, Mr. Danmoma Gorimbo, I really learned confidence from him and that stage presence. Yeah, thanks.
Really? So when I hear people saying we learned confidence, I'm like, how does that work? I don't know. But honestly, because for me, I'm just naturally confident. So, and having the whole thing where people are like, but man, how do you bring? I don't know. I think it's normal. Like when people say I've had to learn confidence, how do you learn confidence? I thought, and some people are just born naturally with having that. And then eventually when even people want to try and bring you down, like, oh, okay, like, were you trying to offend me? Because I didn't get it. I missed the point. Missed the point, but you know what? A good job for you. And a lot of people I hear who say, oh yeah, I grew up shy. And when I look at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're doing a good job at not even showing that, because you're bringing your best foot forward. And this is what we know about you. This is what we love about you. And this is why, people always want to work with you and what have you. But thank you so much, Mr. Bumhira. This hour has been such an amazing hour. And this interview has been a long time coming, since last year.
I know. We talked about it, but you got busy. I got busy.
Exactly. But no, this moment was a moment that, I believe a lot of people needed. I believe a lot of youth needed to learn and hear from, from the master of these many hats, and still moving forward and staying focused on what's really for you. And I love the fact that you also said, do what you love. When you do what you love, it becomes easy in everything else that you do, right? And so one last question before we even go. So let's just go now that we're talking about doing what you love. So was the corporate world, as banking and, all the financial side of you, business, everything, was it something that, I know you didn't have business background, but the whole banking side of things, was it something that you loved at all? Or was it, a typical, I needed to do something in order for me to be considered monopalano?
I guess there was a bit of cloud that came with putting on those expensive suits, being a client manager. And there's a little swagger that came with that, but swagger don't pay the bills, And but I don't even know what to say. The corporate world, it gave me, if you actually think about it, it gave me and understanding. It gave me the ability to have financial conversations. I have a degree in business administration, so I have I have that. It allows me to have the conversations as I transition into a full-fledged CEO of my business. Right? It just makes things work. So everything that happens for a reason. That experience can actually translate into the line of business that I am in. So I never take it for granted. I am glad for having worked for Bank of Montreal, TD Canada Trust, Scotiabank, and Bank of Montreal. I have a lot of experience in that. It helps me in my business. I can talk numbers. It makes it easier. I can talk interest rates. It's easier. Sometimes you just happen to have a conversation with a client. You're talking quotation, then he's talking about stocks. You gotta be able to carry into a conversation, and that's where I find it very valuable. So I am glad I had that. I don't know if I answered the question, but I'm a typical man. I may not have had the question correctly.
No, you did actually. You did answer the question correctly, because it's not a lot of people who actually appreciate the beginning, or the humble beginnings is, what I would actually call it your humble beginning, where you need that background in order for you in the future to know more or to expand yourself. Even the moment, I think earlier on, so I am very expressive. There's moments where sometimes I get shocked, where I'm not supposed to be shocked. Well, not that way I'm not supposed to be shocked, where I'm not supposed to bring out my expression. But and you were talking about how I don't remember what it was, but in my head, I'm thinking this is why you have that banking experience, because eventually self-sustaining business. A self-sustaining business that did not need to go and get a loan and all that fun stuff from, the banks, and, having to owe the bank money and stuff like that, because you already know everything that comes with that because of your background and stuff like that. So I love that, because nothing happens by mistake or coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. And this is another thing where, like I said, we will talk one day, not just you, but I guess maybe when we get the opportunity to ask Amanda and Amanda's journey, to say, because there's so many things that now when I look back, it's like, now I understand why I had to do some of these things because of where I am now. Now I understand why I'm in Calgary, because I didn't even want to be in Calgary, and I appreciate every second of being in the city. And when people say, oh yes, are you settled? Are you settled? I'm like, no, we're still transitioning. It's like, where are you going? And I was like, I don't know, because it wasn't my plan to be here. So I don't know where he's going to take me, when he's going to take me. But now I have left the steering wheel. Now I am at a point where I'm like, yo, Papa G, I'm ready for you. Like, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Like, and it's something that I now look forward to with no fear, with no anxiety, with no, oh my gosh, the numbers, this. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Put in your work. Consistency is key, regardless of what's in your face, because everything will eventually come together as you go, So I just love your journey, where there's so many things that were in the background that you're using right now that's helping your current business. And like you said, the power of relationships, you mentioned the power of relationships, the power of word of mouth, referrals, and what have you. These are things that people do not maintain these days, because we live in a digital world where it's like, well, if you don't follow me, whatever. But you need those relationships in person. You need those, and you need to balance the old school and the current, because digital is not going to sustain you all the way. Look at how YouTube is saying we're no longer paying any videos that are AI made. Right. But people say like, oh yeah, I have a quick way of doing things, because work smarter, not harder. But then there's a part of harder that you need in order for you to accelerate. So we have to be able to balance the old school and the current in order for us to get to whatever it is that God has planned for us and what have you. And I am so glad that you managed to balance that, and you're able to share that with us and the youth and everybody else who's trying to pursue whatever it is that they're pursuing. And we thank you so much for this opportunity.
I want to just say, let me take a pause for a moment and breathe a couple of times. Amanda, you have done well. I am proud to see what you have done, where you are, and to see you on TV, to see you on radio, the work that you're doing. Let me say from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly thankful to have you in the community, being able to do that and even bringing visibility. No, we're having a conversation here, but you have done well. Continue doing that. Sky's the limit. And
Yeah,
you're going places. And I can tell you that you're going
thank you.
places. Continue doing that. Continue doing that. Truly thankful. And
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate you having me today.
No, I appreciate you coming over. It's like I said, I've always looked up to you since I was a youth, and
Mm,
having to learn a lot from you, especially on the stage world of things,
mhm,
having to see, I was like, oh my gosh, how does Ken just speak and bring out the jokes and then also Sister Maria Mbanga, same thing. I used to look up to the both of you. I'm like, wow,
mm,
I want to be like that when I grow up.
mm.
And then now here we are. I am
Yeah, we
getting to
are.
interview the masters of the ceremonies, and you're like, how did we get here, and
Mhm,
I
yeah.
truly appreciate this humbling moment, and
Mm,
which is even weird because we're not even mainly focusing on MCM, but we're now focusing on the construction
bravo.
side of things, but then we've had to touch all these hats in order
Mhm,
for people to understand where
mhm,
you've come from and where
mhm.
you're going. But no, it's been so humbling, and thank you so much. And also
You're
looking
welcome.
at for people who've actually been tuning in, watching, and what have you, please do follow Ken's website. Just go in there, www.kennixworld.com. I'm not too sure if I got it right on the IG, Mr. Bumhira. Is it
Yeah, it should be.
Kennixworld Contractors?
It's kennixworld.com.
No,
You'll be
on,
able to
on
see our
IG.
website
On
on
IG.
IG. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, perfect. So
Mhm.
FB is Kennixworld Contractors, and then also IG Kennixworld Contractors. Just look him up. Look at his pictures. It's like, bro, how from banking to hands-on to you know like the handyman, but it is so amazing and we appreciate you. But to all of viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Pastor Bridget. Oh, amen. Am I already preaching again? I'm so sorry if I'm already preaching. So we go to school with we yeah she actually graduated last year, her final year. Pastor Bridget, she's amazing. I'm in my second year of Bible school, Ken, just so you know.
Oh,
So it
wow.
is amazing. So that's why I'm like, okay, stop. When I start preaching, I'm like, no, I'm not a preacher, just chill. But yeah, I guess it's just my ability to speak.
Congratulations for taking that step. It's a
It's an
very important
interesting
step.
journey. It's an
A, a,
interesting journey, sir.
a
It's an
man or woman shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Lord. So you're
amen.
doing good. You're doing good. Mhm,
Amen. I really appreciate you and thank you so much for
mhm.
that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in as
Thank
we
you.
conclude, guys. Ken, thank you so much for sharing your
Thank
story,
you.
your wisdom, and energy with us today. We really loved it and appreciate it. And
Thank you.
it's truly inspirational to see how one person can successfully wear so many hats and still stay focused. So from business leader to community building to renowned MC, we wish you continued success in all you do. And we look forward to seeing more. Like you said, we're looking forward to seeing the international side of things, let alone the national side of things, let alone the international side of things, where you're
Yeah.
talking about SA and stuff like that. And the last time I met you in person, you're like, oh my gosh, when I was in SA, I was like, what are we doing here? Where you see
Mhm.
developed stuff out there, especially on the landscaping stuff of things, especially on the construction side of things, carpentry and stuff like that. So we look forward
Mhm.
to learning more in the future. Definitely, we do the whole catching up with people. We've had some people where we've sat down with them 2-3 times here on After5Radio, and we look forward to that moment as well.
Thank
And
you.
hoping that you will still be reachable because
I will be reachable. I'll still be the same.
you'll still be the same. But thank you so much for coming through today, guys. To our amazing listeners and viewers, we really appreciate you always and love you. Thank you so much for tuning into After5Radio, your favorite online radio station celebrating Africans in the diaspora. If you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. As you can see on our banner, like on our ticker at the bottom, hit the like button and share this episode. It has been, a fruitful one where, you're gonna have to pick lots of points where it's like, if you don't pick this, well, you have to pick everything from today's conversation because it was so amazing. So let's keep spreading the love and the vibe. Until next time, keep shining, keep dreaming, and remember, your story matters, your journey matters, and this is why we're here, to share your journey, to talk about your journey and your story. And so this is your host, aka the Hype Lady, Miss Tando Amy, signing off with love. And thank you so much, Mr. Ken Bumhira. We will call it a day. I hope you're going to have to rest today. It's a Saturday and not work.
No, yes, I'm going to rest. No, I actually have a golf game later. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think I saw that one. Is it today?
I've got a golf game later on today. No, there's one next week, but this is just a practice round that I'm playing. I'm going to play quick 9-hole. Yeah.
Nice, good for you. Enjoy your golf game. And I feel like I might just, this season I didn't play much of golf, but yeah, I had other missions, and those missions, I cannot believe that I accomplished all of them. And golf was out of the picture, and I am glad to a certain extent because, next year we'll be hitting them bowls. Hopefully, if it doesn't rain, because the rain kind of ruined it for me at the beginning of the season, right? Yes. So I was like, you know what? Some of us, we have other ambitions and aspirations. So we went on with that. But thank you so much, Mr. Ken Bumhira. We really appreciate you.
Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day now.
You too. Enjoy your golfing game. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We are